Hello, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan and this channel is dedicated to skincare for skin of colour. As you know, I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. Now, with us, our melanocytes are large and they are easily triggered. One scratch, one bite, or one burn, and we hyperpigment. Literally, I say one mosquito can take down our skin, and we really have to be careful that we don't irritate our skin because our skin is unforgiving, and we have to be more educated and more empowered when it comes to taking care of it. I wish more products were available to us that didn't irritate the skin, but majority of skincare wasn't really designed with skin of color in mind. And so it really is on us to make sure that we know what to buy and what to steer clear of. Today's video is a dear one to me because it's something that I suffer from and have suffered with for over a decade. And that is hyperpigmentation, specifically melasma. So if that sounds good to you and how we should be treating it for skin of color, the ingredients we should be using, mistakes that get made, then please give me a thumbs up and let's dive right in. So melasma is far more prevalent in females as opposed to males. It tends to be because of the hormones estrogen and progesterone. And this is why it also tends to be worse during pregnancy and if you're taking the oral contraceptive pill. The trigger tends to be UV, and so the two together, estrogen sensitizing the melanocyte to UV, leads to pigmentation. And it tends to take place in the most exposed areas. So for example, the cheekbones, the zygoma area actually accounts for about 80% of where melasma starts. Now the problem is we have something called cell talk, which is great because when it starts here, it spreads and talks to the cells around the face. So it starts here and then it tends to also occur in the upper lip area and the forehead area. And then it spreads. And often it starts off as tiny little freckles, which is how it started off for me. I remember so clearly my mum saying to me, "What's that on your cheek?" And I just thought it was mascara, and I'm rubbing away, and it wasn't going. And my mum said, "No, actually you're getting the beginning of melasma." She said, "That means you're not taking care of your skin, and this is basically your one shot before it really does spread." And that was quite a shock for me because I was in my I was in my 20s, mid-20s. I was young and it just hadn't occurred to me. I feel like when you're young, you take your skin for granted. And I did have really good skin actually as a teenager, touch wood. I had many other issues, but my skin was actually okay. And it was the first time that I started to, notice hyperpigmentation. And this is how it works. When you are affected by something, all you can see around you is hyperpigmentation. You will carry on as normal and you think these freckles are cute, and one day they start to expand and amalgamate. And then they just start to form large patches, and then they're just no longer cute. And you're now in a point of full-blown melasma that you really need to work hard at to reverse, if not even get professional treatment. I don't even want you to get to that point. That's why we go on and on about sunscreen. UV is really the biggest enemy, and no matter which ingredients you put on your skin to try and treat your melasma, it will not work if you have not 100% blocked UV from your skin. It's that serious. And the problem is that with UV, we don't even know when your sunscreen has stopped working effectively, right? The way sunscreen works is that it forms a continuous film on the skin. There's no alarm bell that goes off to say, your sunscreen is not working anymore. And UV is hitting your skin, because anyone with melasma will know that 5 minutes of direct sunlight will worsen your pigmentation. So there are a few things that you can do to help yourself. Obviously, your sunscreen is critical. I love mineral sunscreen SPF 50. I love mineral sunscreen for melasma because for a number of reasons. But first of all, it's anti-inflammatory, and so it's very soothing for anybody with any eczema, any issues with damaged skin barrier. But also with melasma, especially if you're wearing actives at nighttime and your skin is feeling a bit sensitive, I would always opt for zinc oxide. SPF 50. The other reason I love it is because it doesn't enter the bloodstream. There are some new age filters, chemical filters, that also don't enter the bloodstream. So it's just one of the reasons that I like it. To date, we don't know if there's any impact of chemical sunscreens entering the bloodstream. We're waiting on data for that, but it's one of the reasons we tend to say to pregnant ladies, opt for mineral over chemical. The issue we've had with zinc oxide is that it leaves a white cast on the skin. And so, as you know, for the last 2 years, I have been formulating the world's first mineral sunscreen, which has got 17% zinc oxide in it, for skin of color, and it is invisible on all skin. I want it to be universal. I wanted my husband to be able to wear it, so we decided to make it invisible rather than tinted, so men and women feel comfortable wearing it, and I'm wearing it right now under my makeup. So we haven't launched this yet, but we will, and it's designed for skin of color. I've actually put in a trademarked ingredient called Melasma into the sunscreen, which is called Inzincable. And Melasma is a stem cell complex which actually reduces melasma during the day. So it is skin pH neutral and UV stable. And so during the day, it will slow down the rate of melanin production from the hyperactive melanocytes. Right now, we are in clinical trials for skin of color, and I cannot wait to actually release it and have you all have just the best sunscreen for skin of color. So keep your eyes open. There's a link down below if you want to be on the VIP list for that as well. Right, moving on. The other things that you need to have are, of course, your wide-brimmed hat. I'm sure you've seen me wear this over and over in all my holidays. And the other really important thing that I wear and that I tend to recommend is the Dr. V anti-melasma sunglasses. So I literally I made these for my own face just so that I could protect my whole zygoma area. That's where melasma tends to start for me, and I just didn't want it spreading across my face. So if zygoma melasma is your issue and you aren't able to apply your sunscreen every 2 hours, I still say reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours, but if it really is impossible and you're out, then at least this bit is protected from UV. Okay, so your routine that I would say in the morning is to cleanse your skin with a Micellar Gel Wash with no fragrance in it, followed by a fatty moisturizer, ideally with ceramides and peptides in it. Because if you're getting melasma, you're also past the point of 21 years old where your collagen production is slowing down. And so you want to also be adding in peptides for anti-aging purposes. I would then use your SPF 50 on top. So that is your morning routine. At nighttime, I would say again, cleanse your skin. I would double cleanse because you want to remove any makeup or any sunscreen during the day using an oil-based wash, followed by your Micellar Gel Wash to remove any other dirt. I would then I'm now going to list for you all the ingredients that I love, the tyrosinase inhibitors and the antioxidants that I love for melasma, for skin of color, that will reduce the rate of melanin production without irritating the skin cells around it or making the situation worse when you stop. So you don't want to get anything you don't want to use anything that's going to lead to rebound pigmentation. So the ingredients that I love, pen and paper, are kojic dipalmitate, alpha-arbutin, tetrahexyl decal ascorbate. That is my favorite form of vitamin C because it's fat soluble. You get the maximum penetration into the dermis to stimulate collagen. Also sodium ascorbyl phosphate, which is your water soluble version of vitamin C. Octadecanoic acid, which is a very powerful tyrosinase inhibitor for skin of color that doesn't irritate the cells. And that's important and works very well in combination with alpha-arbutin. Ursi extract, licorice extract, I'm sure you've heard of these. And then 3 forms of vitamin A. I always use vitamin A in 3s because I want to attack the vitamin A pathway at multiple points, but I don't want to go in high on retinol, which is the alcohol retinol, right? Because that's irritating. So for skin of color, we have to be very careful. So I use retinaldehyde, my favorite form of vitamin A. It's only one step removed from retinoic acid, but virtually no irritation. Retinol and retinol palmitate. So guess what? It didn't exist. All these ingredients in one product didn't exist. If it existed, I would say go and buy it, but it didn't. So guess what I did for you? I created the world's first facial pigmentation kit for skin of color. I put all the ingredients in it. Plus, of course, there's no fragrance, there's no essential oils, there's no denatured alcohol, and it's cruelty-free. Everything made in the UK and EU by law has to be cruelty-free, so it's important to know that. I'm so proud of this. I just feel like for the first time I can help people globally. I've made you quite a few videos on layering for pigmentation, whether it's the Ordinary or Inky List. The problem is that you're never gonna get more than 2 or 3 layers of actives penetrating. By the time you've put the 4th layer of active on, already this is a waxy layer of skin. You're just not going to get the benefit of it. At that point, it's just a waste of time and money. And for us, I've always said that cocktail creams of tyrosinase inhibitors are really best for us because we actually need all the ingredients simultaneously at the correct percentages, penetrating at the same time. Otherwise, we just don't get the benefits of it. I've run clinical trials on 2, 3, 4 tyrosinase inhibitors and have seen 0 results for melasma. For melasma, we need 8 to 10 different tyrosinase inhibitors at the same time. The problem is it's an expensive product to make. Retinaldehyde itself is one of the most expensive ingredients, which is why you just don't find it in products. Tetrahexaldecaloscorbate is extremely expensive, which again is why you don't find it in many products. But these are the ingredients that we need to treat melasma for skin of color, because those melanocytes are stubborn, they are difficult to treat. And even with this kit, it takes 5 to 6 months to start seeing a reduction. Some people up to 9 months to see a reduction. This is with the strongest actives, the strongest kit of tyrosinase inhibitors. Having said that, I would always say start cheap. So start with the cheapest product that is also a tyrosinase inhibitor. For example, if 2% alpha-arbutin or tranexamic acid is giving you great results, then by all means carry on with that. You definitely should not be purchasing this. If you're getting great results with mandelic acid, say, and you're good with that, great, don't purchase this. This kit really is the expensive alternative when the single actives aren't working anymore and you need something for your melasma because it's really getting you down. Again, if it's not getting you down, then again, please don't buy this because it is expensive and it does take time for it to work. You're gonna have to be patient. Okay, so what we layer on top of the facial pigmentation kit is actually a fatty, non-fragrance moisturizer. So the same one you wore in the morning is absolutely fine. And then on top of that, if your skin is particularly dry, then okay, you can put 100% squalene on top, but actually if you can avoid it, it's better too, because I just don't want to dilute the tyrosinase inhibitors. And already in the kit, I've actually put in emollients, I've already put in humectants, so you don't need anything additional on top. So all I really want you to do is clean your face, put this onto the melasma, the pigmented areas. You can moisturize the rest of your skin. And that's basically it. That would be the nighttime routine. And just so you get a closer look to see what the kit looks like. So it opens up like that. So proud. Okay, so I'm in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video, so don't forget to ask me your questions on melasma, how to use the kit, etc. You can purchase it from the link below, which is Skincare by Dr. V. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube, but also to my Instagram at the Hyperpigmentation Clinic and Skincare by Dr. V, and on TikTok, which is Dr. Vanita Rattan. I've also got a free guide for you for skincare for skin of color. The link is down below. Thank you so much for watching.